So if you're inside a grow garden and you're trying to figure out the base pet system and why you just can't find a way, or a better way at least, to progress and level up your pets and get better ones obviously with that, because obviously, the base core system that comes around unlocking new pet equips and all that, you do actually have to have higher level pets. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the full core function around pets, the best way you can actually level them up and grind levels on your pets, and additionally, the most optimal way I found that works around this and also at the same time, boosts the player themselves. So starting off with how the pet system works. So pets provide a passive bonus to your garden, like increased crop growth, mutations, or more importantly, obviously, like bonus XP for your pets. Now, the next one is you can equip more pets at once. The number of pets you can equip usually depends on the progression through the track with Raphael over here, or if you go over to shop, you can buy an extra equip slot or check out the free ones over here. Those are hard to grind though. Go over that in a second. Or feeding pets directly will increase their XP and can boost their passive size and effects. Now, obviously, for the first starting thing is the base system, which are going to be, I would say, the best pets for leveling up your base things. So obviously there are the owls. There are 3 variants to the owl, which are the night owl, the blood owl, and then the normal owl. So if I search owl, we have the night owl. I think I have a bigger one. Yeah, we have the night owl, which is this one. Then we have the blood owl, and then we have the normal owl. So the normal owl, and then the night owl, and then the blood owl in terms of effectiveness. Now these, I think, have been discontinued almost, they're no longer actively obtainable because of the night events and lunar track being gone, but there are better ones you can still obtain that to affect this. So what owls do is you can still trade for these because they, once again, were very common, is owls provide a passive that grants XP to all equipped pets, even if you're AFK. So if I equip one, right, it's going to passively boost the XP gain per second on all of these. Then secondly, these are pretty good, I would say, for this. And then also you can stack their abilities. So the blood owl was pretty much the best for XP, giving it's like a 0.5x multiplier or something like that. And it'd give you extra XP per second gained on your pets. Additionally, though, if you do want information in a list of pets, I'll have my website in the description, if I remember to put it there at least, with all the eggs and the pets and all this stuff. Obviously, I still need to update it with some more information, fix some crap on it, but besides the point, it is still very good information, and I would recommend you checking that out if you are wanting to look into other pets besides just XP. But next thing, obviously, on how to get them. Right now, the only way you could do this is via trading, and if you want a good trading server, I have a pretty decent trading server that is consistently active. And then on top of this, we also have a stock notifier with a gear stock notifier as well. We also have an egg stock notifier and a weather events notifier. So if you are, trying to join in, get specific items and all that, it'll be able to notify you depending on that. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is obviously the trading, but these were used to be obtained via the blood shop. When you would buy the blood owl, it was really rare and uncommon to get. And then the second method was through the night egg. Now, I personally have been opening these things for a while, and I'm almost nearing 300 of these things open. I still have a ton of them, but they weren't rare, but they're not common. The next thing is going to be the mouse. So there's the gray mouse and the brown mouse. So these, what they do, so the brown mouse I think is the better one maybe, but they, every 8 to 10 minutes, I think 8 minutes at the best once it's at the highest level, give you a flat XP gain. Pretty much what that means is it'll literally every 8 minutes, I believe at the best, the mouse will grant just straight up 800 XP to all equipped pets, which is the best for consistent passive leveling, especially if you obviously don't have the owls. These are going to be obtained from the mythical egg, which has a very low chance to be in shop. Once again, another reason why you should join the Discord server for the stock notifier. And I think they're about a 7% chance from the mythical egg, and both the gray mouse and brown mouse are relatively more accessible to get, but once again, they are pretty good. The next though is how you can equip more pets. So obviously, as I said before, if you stack pets, you can see it on this UI right here. If you stack the pets, you can get more of them with better all this stuff, allowing you to effectively, stack their abilities and all that. Now you can do what's called level grinding, where you just only equip pets that affect levels, and then you level up the leveling pets until they just get better and better. And then you just equip either one pet designed just to have easy XP growth, and then you use that one as a sacrificial pet to get it level up, or you just give one of the XP ones. I personally, what I would do is I literally only equip blood owls. That's what I used to do. And then I should probably do the mouse or mice now, since those are, I believe, better than the owl if I were you to do the math. But to equip more, as I shown before, you start off, I think, only being able to equip 3 and then you come over to Raphael on the egg or pet egg shop. Now, talking to him, you're going to click on show me pet info, and he's going to give you this. So as you see right here, a mythical egg has a 7% chance to come in stock, but as you see, you can equip more eggs if you sacrifice, you know, a pet at a certain age, or you can equip an extra pet slot. So this is the best one you should try to get. Now, obviously, required age for next pet equip slot unlocks at 60. So if I want to get a 7th pet equip slot, I need to pretty much like delete a pet that is at age 60, and then after that, the next one's age 75, and then that'll be the max, and then I can equip 8 at a time. Now, though, with this being said, there are also, you can just straight up buy one with a game pass and extra pet equip. You can just straight up buy these rather than grinding for them, which once again is a bit pay to win, but it doesn't completely undermine that. It is expensive, yes, but it's still not that hard to grind if you're actually grinding it. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is the basic level system. So how you can stack XP boosting pets and all this stuff. So firstly, if you don't have, you know, a bunch of mice and you have a bunch of owls, equip all those owls, and do make sure though, once again, XP can only increase on a pet whenever its hunger bar is full. So these have been at age 24 for quite some time. So if I take a beanstalk, right, a heavy pollinated beanstalk, that's going to fill up their hunger pretty fast, because since this is a high rarity and a high kilogram weight, this is going to genuinely allow them to level up faster. So I can take, if I can even claim this one, these ones, and give these ones to the bees. And since these, as you see, 300, the higher the value the plant has itself, so like mutations and all that, the more value you'll get on the trade-in, therefore like filling up its hunger bar further. So as you see, now their hunger's full. Now they'll actually be able to level up. Now, this is obviously very important to note, is if you do not feed your pets consistently, they're pretty much not going to be able to gain XP, even regardless if they have an XP boosting pet, you know, boosting that up. Now, the next thing is going to be AFK leveling. So you do want to, for some pets where their passives do better while you're in game rather than AFK and offline, I would recommend staying in game and AFKing. Now, I have a full video with a great rundown of mobile ways to AFK on mobile, literally any console. That'll be at the end of this video. Or if I remember to, it would be, I believe, if you look up right here, maybe if I remember to edit it, put it there. Anyways, though, you should definitely check that out, because obviously the owl and mouse passives work even when you're not active and playing, but you can leave the game running. But obviously some mechanics are better to do while online. The next thing is feeding your pets. This is another thing you can basic automate. So once again, that'll be up in that video right up there. Not obviously right now, if you go back, it'll be there. But this will allow you to gain the XP and also grind, you know, because you can do, if like before, if you harvest a bunch of beanstalks, right? These usually, on average, will always fill up your hunger, especially if it's like a bee or something. And so you can go like, click here and, you know, feed it, and then you could set up some sort of basic automation to do this for you so that you can AFK feed your pets and all this stuff. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to waste a bunch of plants by feeding them way too much. So you could set up some sort of delay or timer or stuff, but still, I would say that is worth looking into. And additionally, the more you feed, the higher their XP per second and faster they level up. I don't think that's accurate, rather than they just have to have full hunger. So I think the closer their hunger is to full, the better they level up. Maybe. I think it's really just have to have hunger in general. And then, for example, right, use the blood owl, feed it regularly. It's going to be able to both use its ability and additionally passively level up other pets and itself. So I would recommend on focusing on event pets, obviously if available. So if you can get your hands on a mouse, this isn't an event since it's from the mythical egg, but it is still very good, and I'd recommend trying to get this pet if you could. And then the next thing is basic pet progression and scaling. So leveling a pet up is not necessarily their passive effect, but it may also allow you to, obviously, it does increase their passive effect usually, depending on what it is, unless it's like a direct thing where it's like, the dragonflies like, will turn a thing golden. Like, that is a ability rather than a passive effect like some other ones. But another thing to note is, alongside this, I would also recommend putting like pet stats, right? So whenever you do a trade-in for eggs, right? So you can equip extra egg slots. If you're not buying these, don't do egg slots for a while. These are pretty useless to get. Try to grind to get, this is just like a basic outlook, I would believe. Try to grind to get more pet equips, and try to then trade for, if you can, owls, or grind to get a mythic egg and try to get the mouse or mice. This is going to hugely benefit your progression. And then the pets that you're trying to level up, I would recommend using a pet, once again, like I said before, a sacrificial pet. You're fine deleting, because once it gets to that level to trade it in, you will have to delete it. And then honestly, just key takeaways or an outro. Obviously, you know, I was talking about a giveaway. If you're wanting to enter into the giveaway, I will be giving away 10 seed packs, not 10 packs, so not 100. I'm giving away one set of 10 packs, so the 1,700 Robux to the winner of the giveaway. To enter, all you got to do is subscribe and comment your username down below to enter into the giveaway. Now, once again, if this guide did help you out, make sure to leave a like, and I would recommend checking out the Discord server, and my website, once again, will still be in the description alongside the Discord link. And thank you so much for watching, and yeah.